What is going on, everyone? So happy you guys are with us tonight on a Friday night. We've got a very special guest in here with us tonight, Mr. Relics and Rings, Andrew himself. And we're going to be going through and talking with Andrew about a couple of different things. Andrew has a great YouTube channel. He does a lot of tutorial videos, does a lot of explaining about a lot of machines. So we're real excited to have Andrew and him on here sharing some of his knowledge with us tonight. Andrew, how's it going?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
All right,
Doing
all
good.
right. And we've also got Mr. NC Relic Hunter himself down here in the bottom part of the screen, and he's been out hunting today, guys. And I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit about his hunt today too, what he was using, what he was looking for, what he ended up finding, and we're gonna let him share his adventure from today too, as well. So, guys, thank you both so much for being in here with us tonight. We've got a looks like we got a big audience starting to flow in here. We got Mr. Wisco Detector is in here with us. We'll give a few shout outs. Finders Keepers is in here with us. Mr. Tesh Ridge Digger is in here with us. Our man Damian Thorne is in here. Corey Kunkel. Chris is in here with us as always. Mr. LC Hunt is in here. Digging Daryl, always glad to have Digging Daryl in here. Edward G's in here with us, always a great supporter of the channel. Workman's Adventure is in here with us. Mr. Doug Atkins, always a great supporter of the channel as well. Mr. James Letner, glad to have him in here. Blasted Cat, always great to have Blasted Cat with us. Mr. Joe Dirt, Mr. Matthew McCann. Mr. Wild here is here with us. Mr. Ricky Bennett, always a regular on here. Glad to have Ricky. Mr. Kerry Holderreed, I think I'm saying it right. Tin Man from here in South Carolina is in with us. Mr. Great Lakes Adventure, always glad to have him. Mr. Jeremy Duty, we got a lot of people. Miss Digging Canucks in here, glad to have Liz in here with us. Mr. Mark C. Mr. Greg Dudley. I think I'm getting down to the end. Mr. James Bazell. Always glad to have James. James is also a great supporter of the channel. Mr. Get That Treasure. Mr. DC Digging in here with us. And Mr. Tom Kingery. I think I got everybody. We got 39 people joining in on this live. And I think it's going to be a great show. You know what, guys? I think I'm going to remove our banner so we're not all blocked out here. I don't like that when we're all blocked out. So we're going to take that off. Now everybody can see us. How about that? Andrew, we're super excited about having you on here tonight. And we're going to be talking a lot about the Manticore tonight. We were going to still talk about the XP Deus II. We'll talk about some of the other machines too as well. Andrew's very familiar with them. And Michael's very familiar with them too as well. But we're going to start off our conversation tonight about the Minelab Manticore. So Michael and I have just recently, well, Michael more so than me, have just recently really started delving into the Manticore a little bit more than what we have in the past. And we're seeing some great things. And you've been using the Manticore for a while. In fact, when I first met you, you already had the Manticore and we're using it at Digstock and we're running it really, really well. And that was before this last update. So tell us a little bit about what you like about the Minelab Manticore and what are some of the things that you're seeing maybe out in your area using and running that machine. And we'll look forward to just hearing you talk about that for a few minutes.
Okay. The Manticore for me, I mean, I don't like running it everywhere. I have kind of my preferences where I like to use it, but mainly like I'll use it beach hunting, relic hunting. If the relic hunting gets into sites where it's really bad, I'll usually switch over to the Deus.
Okay.
But and I don't park hunt a lot, but I've done enough park hunting with it, you know, to know that I would like it if I did a lot of that, because just the way the tones and the ID and the and the 2D trace and all that really help you with identifying targets. But probably the place that I use it the most is either beach hunting or when I get into open fields where there's not a lot of trash and stuff like that.
Okay.
I really like it there. And then the other place that it's been really good for me since I got the M8 coil is gold prospecting.
Okay.
With the M8 coil matched up with the sensitivity of that machine and the 2D trace and all that, it's a really great machine for that.
So, Andrew, what do you think is your favorite feature about the Manticore? What is the one thing that you like it above any other machine that you have? What is the one thing that you would say is the greatest feature for you?
Well, I don't know that there's anything that I like better than, I use the Equinox 800 a lot. So
Okay.
to move over to the Manticore was fairly easy to do once
Okay.
I figured out what adjustments needed to be made on the Manticore to
Right.
make it perform the best. I like the 2D trace, but at the same time, it's not always a useful feature.
Right.
So it's just another tool to use. If you get kind of an iffy signal and you look down at that trace and it might give you a little bit better idea whether or not you want to dig it.
Right. How about the red numbers and things that pop up? Have you found that to be something that's beneficial for you when you're hunting, or what do you think about that?
I left mine on the red underline. I don't like
I,
the red numbers because I think it's too distracting.
Okay.
I
All right.
that's the way I left mine the same way. That's about the way I feel too. I'd rather have it underlined it than have the red numbers. It is distracting. I agree with him on that.
Okay. All right. So, Michael, I've asked Andrew. So, today was your first real day of hunting with the Manticore. What did you think was your favorite feature on the Minelab Manticore that you noticed? What was one of the main things that you really liked about using this machine today? What did you notice?
It's just a quiet, pleasant hunt. It handled the EMI really well, and it's a really stable machine. I mean, it's just a pleasant hunt. A quieter hunt than you're used to with like a day. It reminds like I had an Equinox 800 too, and it really reminds me when I use that machine. It's not um, a big jump going from that 800 to the Manticore. I mean, there's some updated features there, but I mean, as far as the tones
Mm-hmm.
and it's real familiar going
How
from one to
about
the other.
how about the screen, Michael? What did you notice about the screen? Tell us a little bit about what you noticed as far as the targets, the target ID. What were some of the things that you could share with everybody in the audience right now?
The target ID, if there's not a lot of contamination around it, it's pretty stable. From what the targets I saw, and the 2D screen, a lot of times, if it was around target like a button or even a musket ball, it would be on the line and it would be a good target. Now,
Okay.
sometimes, I noticed this too. I would dig some, maybe some shell casings, like rifle shell casings, or even a wire, and it was more elongated looking.
Right. Okay.
Um, so I mean, it's going to take some getting used to, but I can see there's some benefit definitely to that. Like he said, open field hunting it's a great machine for that.
Okay. So of course, all three of us use the Deus II as well. How do you think this machine compares? Just as a comparison. Andrew, I'll let you go first. How do you think this machine compares with your Deus II?
Well, I think it's very complementary to
Yeah.
the Deus II. Um, the Manticore excels in certain sites, and the Deus excels in certain sites. And for me, those two machines are you know, if I had only 2 machines left, they'd be the ones that were left.
That's right.
It complements themselves so well.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, you know, if you're just going out and you want to see which one's the deepest, I mean, they are so close in depth just about anywhere that I've taken them that it's kind of a toss up there. And then at that point, it comes down to, well, you know, what's going to work best in this site, you know,
Right.
based on the number of targets that are here. So
Right.
that's kind of where you know, where I base which one I'm going to use.
Right. Michael, what do you think? I mean, because you and I both have been Deus II users for a while. And of course, we've been experimenting with the Manticore. I've been experimenting with it over the last 3 or 4 months. And you broke down and you got one just recently. And so, what do you think? How do you think, just first impressions, how do you think these two machines compare?
You know, the Deus and the Manticore, they both have good, you know, VDI. At depth, you know, you get a good target VDI at depth with both machines from what I can see. The scale on the Manticore it's going to take some getting used to,
Right.
as a you know, compared to the Deus. You know, it's more stretched out, and I found out today, you know, you really got to dig a lot of those lower signals, because a lot of those are small buttons or musket balls, you know, at the lower in the teens and 20s, you know. Whereas, you know, you wouldn't dig that on the Deus, you know.
Right, right. So
And
Andrew, he brings up a good point. You know, the VDI scale. How do you feel about that VDI scale? The way it's so spread out. Do you like that? Do you not like that? Do you find it to be sometimes hard to sort of figure out whether it's a dig or not dig sort of deal? If you're looking at that, I still go by tones, even with the Manticore. But what do you think about that VDI scale? That was the other thing that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I go a lot of tone and
Right.
how consistent the tone is, because I like to run all tones, and so I think that tells you a lot about, you know, what you're going over. But I personally, I don't like the spread out scale.
Yeah.
I like the compressed upper end of the Deus
Right.
better. And in fact, when I went to the first time I used it was at, well, I'd used it a little bit before Dig Stock, but Dig Stock's the first place I really used it a lot, because I used it all 3 days.
Right.
And, you know, that was really hard for me to get used to, like, okay, I need to look at those 40s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, where you can pretty much pass those up on the,
Right.
you know, on the Deus II, if your time, you know, doesn't allow you to dig everything.
Right. That's exactly right. And Michael brought up a good point. Michael, what'd you say? You said what happens if you might not ignore those lower lower numbers?
well, I dug a quarter size flat button today, and it was a 25. So,
Oh yeah.
Wow.
you know,
Yeah.
that really surprised me.
Right. So there are some people on here that really like that expanded VDI scale. I'm not one of them either, Andrew. I like the Deus II VDI scale, and that's just what I'm used to. But I love the tones of the Manticore. I like the screen of the Manticore. I think the user interface of the Manticore is just awesome. I think they've done a great job with that. And you know, the machine runs quiet, and those are probably my main things. I think with this machine is that, you know, it's a pleasant hunt with this machine. It's got plenty of depth. I think it separates better than what I originally thought, especially with this new stabilizer update. You and I were talking off camera about the stabilizer update and running it and not running it. And Andrew says, Michael, he says he doesn't run the stabilizer, which is
Yeah, I've watched a lot of videos, you know, before I ordered it, and a lot of people, you know, unless they get into the heavier iron, they don't run that stabilizer, or they'll run it maybe at 1, you know.
right.
Um, and I can see, a benefit to that,
Right.
if you're in more open ground.
Right. But in heavy iron, Andrew, what do you think about running that stabilizer in heavy iron? I mean, do you not you still don't use it even when you're in a real polluted site with a lot of, like for us it would be colonial nails, but
Yeah, I don't run it there either. Out
okay.
west we have a lot of well, we have square nails in some of the older sites, but a lot of the nails we have out here are, going to be the round nails, and then you got to deal with bottle caps, and you're dealing with flat tin and stuff like that. And for me, it's just, running that stabilizer is just something else that's going to mask a target when you're in heavy iron. So
Right, right. Well, we know
that's
that.
why I don't use it.
Okay. Um, Workman's Adventure says he only uses the stabilizer if he's in a lot of iron. And I have been running the stabilizer now. Am I missing something? I don't know. I don't know.
Hard
But
to say.
yeah, it's hard to say. But I do know this. I found some really cool stuff in heavy iron running that stabilizer, and I'm still getting really good depth with it. So yeah, I don't
I
know.
mean, I coming from the Manticore, or not the Manticore, the Equinox 800, I always used to run my iron bias on 0, and
Yeah,
so I kind of got used to, hunting in heavy iron without any kind of filters on.
right.
And
Well,
it
I
to
do
me,
with the Deus too. That's just the thing, but I was a little apprehensive, and you know this because I even had this conversation with you when I met you at Digstock. I was a little
yeah,
apprehensive about it because it was falsing so bad on these colonial nails that we had here before this last update. So I've been a little bit apprehensive to run that stabilizer down or to not run it at all. And so, but I found that running those upper ferrous, I've been running that upper ferrous at about 8 or 9 and running the lower ferrous at about 4 and running the all terrain low conductors has worked really, really well for me on these really iron loaded sites. What do you think about that versus what I just said? I mean, versus what you're doing?
yeah, I kind of leave my ferrous limits alone. The one thing I've noticed that a good target will almost always float outside of those ferrous limits. They don't necessarily need to be on the line. I
Right.
mean, if you get a target that's drawing a circle and it's floating on top of the lower limits or just
Mhm.
outside of the
Right.
upper limits, I would check it out because 8 out of 10 times it's something good. And
Right.
I've especially noticed that with gold nuggets. Usually, like little teeny specks of gold. I've been hunting with it before, and I'll get a target that's underlining in red, but the the tone is good. And
Right.
I'll look down at the trace, and the trace is drawing a line in mineralized ground. It's drawing a line from the lower ferrous limits up to it's trying to trace up to the center line.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I've dug
Seen
quite
that.
a few nuggets that have ended up being nuggets and not iron.
Michael, did you notice anything like that today on any of your targets? Did you notice one that was might have been coming in from the lower ferrous limit towards the center line?
I know, yeah, I noticed exactly what he's talking about. That a lot of the targets, in the 20 to 30 range, they'll float right at the top of that lower Ferris limit. And, they're kind of almost right on the line there. And you better dig those because, I mean, a lot of them turn out to be buttons or, you know, pieces of lead or, they're not going to be a Ferris target, So, um, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of I don't know. I kind of wanted to lower. What do you run your? You said you leave them stock, right,
Yeah, I leave mine
Andrew?
stock. Yep.
So I kind of went like the 8 and 4, but I thought about lowering that lower Ferris limit a little bit because of that. It was right at the top of the lower Ferris limit, and I could see you could drop it down to 2 or 3 maybe.
Well, I've done some like I've got over some targets in the wild before and kind of played with the ferrous limits, moved them up and up and up. And if it's not like iron,
Right.
it usually is floating above that ferrous limit the higher you go. So,
Yeah. That's
I
a
don't
good
know.
thing, Andrew, because I mean, I've seen targets that have been similar to that, and I've still sort of been a little apprehensive on whether I really wanted to dig that target or not. And I could see it tracing and sort of trying to give me, that perfect circle on that center line. I won't say perfect circle, but a blob
Yeah.
sort of on that center line. So that's something too that I've been a little bit leery of. But now you're telling me too that maybe those are some targets too that you might want to take a chance on and dig, especially if the tone's good.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's not always the case. I mean,
Right.
I've dug some square nails that got a big head on them that I
Yeah,
thought,
I know. I've done
they're going to
that
be good and they're not.
too.
So,
I've done that too, so I can definitely relate to that. We got a lot of really good comments coming through. Just I'm going to read off a couple. Matthew McCann was saying that he just received an LG24 coil for his Legend this week. Going to use it this weekend for the first time. Can't wait. You're going to love the LG24. Andrew, do you have a Legend? I know
I do. Yeah.
Okay, and I thought I've seen you post a couple of videos with it.
Yeah.
The LG24 coil it's a pretty impressive elliptical coil, and it's pretty deep too. And I've used it. Michael's seen me using it before too, and I like the performance of that coil.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good one. I mean, I've used the Legend a lot, but it's kind of not my thing.
Right.
It's like when I go to a site and I've got, 3 machines in the car, it's usually I'll grab the Manticore or the Deus II for whatever reason.
Right.
But I mean, the Legend's a great machine. I mean, especially
Yeah.
for the price, you just cannot beat it.
Oh
It's
yeah, and they're running a special right now. And since we're talking about that, let's talk about our buddy Joel. Joel has got um, anything and every kind of type of machine that you would want, accessories, all kinds of things. They're running a Legend price right now with an AccuPoint pinpointer, and I think it was $649, which I think is a heck of a deal. Getting the pinpointer too.
yeah.
And you got the new carbon graphite shaft, you got the new arm cuff. That's a really, really good deal. But if you are looking for a Legend and you're looking for a really good machine, check out Joel. His contact information is running across the bottom of the screen. I'm going to leave it running for a little bit. So if any of you guys are looking for a great deal on a machine, you give Joel a try, give him a shout, let him know you saw this on Southern Relic Adventures live stream, and he'll try to get you hooked up. And he's real good with the communication. He gets back to you and he ships things out fast, so you can make sure that you'll get your machine and get your product on time. So Joel is a great sponsor of this channel. We appreciate Joel so much, and all that he has done for all three of us, because he also deals with Andrew, Mr. Relics and Rings, as well. So Joel, awesome dude. He'll definitely get you set up. So give him a shout if you're interested or you're looking for something. He can tell you what kind of deals, what kind of things he's got going on, and he'll get you hooked up for sure. So give Joel a shout, and he'll get you set up with anything you need. Okay.
I ran that AccuPoint pinpointer today with the Manticore, and it ran smooth. I didn't have a problem with it, but I know a lot of people have said it. I know you had an instance where it was kind
Right.
of chattery with the Manticore, but there is a offset on that pinpointer. You can shift the frequency on it.
Right.
And
Hey, Andrew, have you tried the AccuPoint pinpointer?
No, I haven't. I've
Right.
got the carrot still and the Deus M6 or
Right.
MI6 or whatever it
Well,
is.
and they're all good pinpointers. I like the features that's on that AccuPoint, and with the frequency shift, it'll work with any machine. It's got, of course, the ferrous and non-ferrous settings you can set to it if you like. It's got a light on it. It's got a colorized screen. You can set the sensitivity levels for it. But it's a really neat pinpointer. And since we're talking about the Nokta AccuPoint pinpointer, guys, we are close to 10,000 subscribers on this channel. So one thing I want to encourage each and every one of you, help me out to get to 10,000. When we get to 10,000, we're going to be doing some giveaways. And any of you guys that are a part of the membership, which I'm going to put up in just a minute, if you're part of the membership on Southern Relic Adventures and you're in the True Relic Hunter membership, then that means that you are going to be eligible to win an XP pinpointer, an AccuPoint pinpointer. We've got some beach scoops that we're going to be giving away. We've got hats, shirts, all sorts of other things too that we're going to be giving away to celebrate this channel reaching 10,000. If you're not on the membership, you need to get on, because the members are going to get the first pick of those things. But we also are going to do a special giveaway too for the 10,000 on our regular channel as well. But if you want to get in on a lot of those great prizes and things that we're going to be giving away, sign up for the membership, True Relic Hunter membership, and you can join, and that gets you into the drawing for those things. It also gives you a free monthly live stream that we'll be doing with special information. Our next one's going to be big, as we are going to be talking about LiDAR. And we're going to be showing you guys how to access LiDAR maps, what to look for on some of those LiDAR maps and so on. That is only going to be on the membership live stream. And we're going to be doing that coming up in February. So if you're interested in that, you need to sign up for one of the True Relic Hunter memberships. It's $9.99 a month. Even if you only sign up for that one piece of information for a month, you're going to get your $9.99 worth, won't they, Michael?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of information on that. And that's something, I think I would like to know more about, and I'm looking forward to that.
Andrew, do you use LiDAR occasionally?
Occasionally, but it's not, they haven't done the mapping out here as much as they have back east. So there's very limited areas that has been done out here.
Okay. All right. Well, we are going to be offering a special class for those people that are part of our membership program. And we're going to be doing that the month of February. That's going to be the big thing. And hopefully we're going to get closer to that 10,000 mark, which we're really close. So please share our videos, get people subscribed, get in that running for some of these prizes, some of these giveaways. And all it is the True Relic Hunter membership level, $9.99. You get a loyalty badge too. So if you leave a comment or you do something on the channel, it always shows up with your loyalty badge to let me know that you're a member. And of course, that's going to stand out to me too as well. And we make sure that we take care of our members first. So again, membership channel, if you're interested, you don't have to. We're still going to do giveaways and things on our regular channel, but we're going to be offering some real special things to the people that sign up for the True membership or True Relic Hunter membership level. So $9.99 a month. If you're interested, you don't have to. We're still going to be here every weekend, bringing a live stream, and we're still going to be telling you things and talking great information and so on, and have great guests like Andrew tonight talking about the Manticore, the XP Deus II, the Legend. We're going to be talking about all these different machines. So we're still going to be doing those things as well. So again, thank you guys for all of you that are here tonight. And we're going to get off of that and get back to the conversation. Andrew, I know you hunt out west, and we sort of were talking about this a little bit off camera. What about mineralization in your area? How does the Manticore and the Deus II deal with the mineralization in your area out west?
Well, it's difficult out here unless you're using to get any depth, unless you're using a pulse induction machine. On bigger targets, you can still dig, bullets and stuff like, let's say 9 inches deep or something. But like if I was to pump the coil of the Deus on the ground just right outside my house here, it's going to fill it up 3/4 of the way. If I go 2 blocks up the road closer to the mountain, it'll fill the mineral bar all the way up. So my the way I judge whether or not a metal detector does good is I'll go out in my test garden and I've got a 6-inch dime. And if I can hit the 6-inch dime and get a half decent ID off of it, then I know it's a pretty decent machine. So it's pretty bad out here.
Oh, wow. One of our viewers did have a question. Digging Daryl wants to know, have you tried the sweeper program yet, Andrew?
No, I haven't.
Andrew's soul, though, is to be fair, Andrew's soul is a little bit different from what we're dealing with out here. The sweeper program is basically mine and Michael's sort of brainchild, sensitive full tones, running it, the way that really works for us on a lot of these relic sites. And it's done very, very well with a lot of our audience and with a lot of the users that have been using it here on the East Coast. So we're excited about it. And XP has definitely taken notice of this program too. So yeah, and Digging Daryl's bragging on it because Digging Daryl had a great day out hunting with it today. And he loves the program. A lot of these guys on here are using it, and we appreciate each and every one of them. And there is a video for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about. There is a video on my channel showing you how to set up that sweeper program. There's also another great program that Michael sort of helped me with and sort of hooked me up with, and that's our NC Field program. And it's based off of sensitive, but it runs extremely well too. And I have found some amazing things over the last 3 or 4 months running both of those programs, especially. And a lot of our viewers are finding some really amazing things running both of those programs. So we're real excited, and we're excited that we shared something that people are taking out and being able to be really successful with. But again, Digging Daryl, thank you for sharing that. Go ahead, Michael.
What base program do you like to run, Andrew, on the Deus II?
If I'm out in like open fields and stuff, I like general. If I get into more trashy ground, I like fast.
Okay. Have you tried sensitive or sensitive full tones or run the full tones running either one of those programs?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in iron, I think sensitive full tones is, really great. But I have a program that I run in 3 tones when I get into really bad stuff. Because of the condensed upper ID on the Deus II,
right?
I'll usually set it so that my cutoff's about 50, and so I'll have a really low tone at 50 and below, and obviously then your iron tone, and then everything 50 and above will be, a higher tone. And I've come to like that a lot in really iron infested sites because it just alerts me if something's there.
Right. I know a lot of people that run 3. I know a lot of people that run 2 using fast. Of course, I sort of, Calabash and I sort of started with pitch, and pitch has always been was our main thing. And then when the Deus II came out, I ran pitch just like we'd always run. But then Michael and I sort of latched in on this full tones thing when the new update came out. And then when we saw that they had enhanced and improved full tones, which is something that I used to use on the Deus I when I first started. But when this update came out and they had improved full tones, I just latched onto it. And I think the audio is just so good on this machine. I could tell so much running it in the full tones. And we found that, and we've tested this too, sensitive full tones is a deep, deep program, and it's the only program on the Deus II that still has the 1.0 filters, which is a big, big deal because it's different from the rest of the other programs, and we can tell a big difference. But whatever they were working on when they originally released 1.0, they were on to something. Now, it didn't necessarily go the way that I think they wanted it to go, but on that program, it definitely hit for us in this area, and it's worked extremely well. Handy Michael.
Yeah, I think that, when they added that offset on it, that really helped the audio out a lot,
Mm.
compared to .71. Um, I mean, it reminds me of running, the DS1 with full tones, when they brought that feature back where you could offset it.
Right, right. And the sensitive full tones and being able to adjust that offset and the audio is just, to me, it's just so much crisper and clearer as far as being able to sort of recognize what you're actually over. This site that I've been on, I've been hunting with another gentleman, or the landowner. He actually sort of follows me around, and he loves me narrating what those sounds are. And I tell him, I said, look, I know this is trash. He goes, oh, I can tell. He's followed me around so much. He's picking up on that audio. And he goes, God, that sounds terrible. And he'll see me make a facial expression. He goes, oh, that's bad. And it's just funny, because he's following me around. He's listening to all these sounds. And but he loves hearing them, because he knows I know when that's going to be a good target or when it's going to be a bad target. And I'll show him sometimes. I'll say, you want to see what this really is? And he said, yeah, dig it, dig it, dig it. And I'll dig it. And it's it's garbage, just like we said. But I really love full tones, and I love sensitive full tones. I like the sensitive program. I keep saying I'm going to use General. I loved General and Deep High Conductor. And I know when you and I met at Dig Stock, those were my two go-to programs. And now I don't even venture over there, which I need to, though, because I know there's a lot of good things that those other programs offer. And I like fast. I still like fast. But
Yeah,
General,
sensitive, or I mean, deep high conductor in my soil. I mean, not only does it draw the battery, but I have a constant like low tone blip going on the whole time I'm using that program, just because it's bouncing off the minerals or whatever. So that's why I don't like deep high conductor here.
right. Yeah. And I don't use deep high conductor, Andrew. I mean, that was, like I said, with .71, I love deep high conductor. With this new update, it just doesn't seem like I don't know, it's not quite as responsive. What do you think, Michael? What do you think that is with these? Do you think it's just the filters? What do you think is going on with that?
I guess that's what it is, the filters, but something has changed. I use deep high conductor in .71 quite a bit, but it just doesn't sound like it has the depth really, or on targets, it did like it did in .71.
Right, right. Carson Chris brought up a good point, and we've said this before, and Andrew might be able to attest to this too. Carson Chris says he used beach sensitive over the weekend. I was in a mining location where the ground and rocks were black iron, but the beach cleaned up a lot of that crackle. Have you tried using the beach programs in your area, Andrew, on some of those mineralized areas?
On the Deus II, I have not, but I have used the beach programs on the Manticore, and I used to use it on the Equinox 800 in really bad ground like that, because it really, I don't know, kind of tamed things down and quieted things down. First time I went to Culpeper, Virginia, and used the Equinox 800, which is kind of dumb because you're really limited in depth there. But I used the beach program there, and it worked pretty good.
Right. And yeah, I've actually tried that. I've actually run beach. Did you know I ran beach at Dig Stock?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, in that because of all that aluminum trash.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you something, it hits really deep. I found that out too. So I got into this one field, and I won't bore you guys with a long story, but I got into this one field, and I dug this coin, and it was a good 12, 13 inches down. And I just knew it was going to be a Real or a King George, whatever. And it turned out to be a modern quarter that was buried 13 inches down. I was so disappointed, because there had been some other good things that were dug out of that field, and I ended up with a modern quarter out of that field. That just destroyed me. But yeah, those beach programs, especially the dive program, is extremely deep, and it runs very smooth too. Beach sensitive, better for the small gold, smaller pieces as well. And then the beach program runs; they all three run very well. And I think with being able to run full tones on the beach now too, I think that really gives you some good options with those programs out on the beach. Tim Man says Joel's website scrolling does not work. Huh. Wonder why. It should be. Do y'all see the thing scrolling down at the bottom? Guys? Hello?
Yeah, I actually tried that the other day, and I couldn't get on his site either.
Okay. All right. Well, he's on here right now. Oh, Joel says, Tim Man, no, it's an old site. Don't have that anymore. Life LA. I forgot to remind. Joel, you hung me out to dry. Anyway, he says, Wisco, hit me up. I think the number is correct. So you can give him a call and he will definitely get you hooked up, guys. But Joel, again, great support of the channel. He can get you hooked up with anything you need. Give him a shout. And we appreciate Joel so much. So we're talking a lot about the Deus II. We were talking about beach programs, running them in highly mineralized soil. Carson Chris brought that up a few minutes ago. I'm looking forward to getting out on the beach, which is going to be coming real soon. Andrew, I know you live near the Great Salt Lake. What do you run on that? Which program do you use there on the Great Salt Lake?
Beach sensitive.
Okay, so and it works really good even with all of that other stuff.
Yeah, the Deus, for whatever reason, is really good at handling the salt, and having that separate adjustment for the salt is, I mean, it works great. I run it at about 6.
Right.
And I'm getting targets down to 16 inches out there, so it works really well.
That is so good to hear, because I was curious as to what was going on with that. Matthew McCann brought up the legend. He says, I was working the beach base program for dirt hunting here in Texas. And I'll be honest with you too, the legend is a wonderful machine out on the beach, running that multi-wet. You talking about a quiet and pleasant hunt. Multi-wet performs extremely well. And guys, just to let you know, I'm going to be running the Nokta double score real soon out on the beach. I ran the Nokta score this past weekend on a Relic site, did extremely well with it, dug a few buttons. It actually separates very well in that field program, and the score is only $379. And Andrew and I were having this conversation off screen before we started tonight. There are just so many machines out there right now that are so good at doing all the things that we need them to do. And the Nokta score and the Nokta double score are going to be those same way. They're going to be doing the same thing. They've got the power to separate. They work well on the beach. They're great multi-frequency machines. And I just think the future is so bright for all the new equipment that's going to be coming out as they enhance a lot of this multi-frequency technology and improve on it and make it even better and better and better. But the Nokta score and the Nokta double score are two great machines for under $500. The Legend, awesome machine, that $500 to $600 range. You're looking for a great machine. The Legend can do it all, and it does it all very well. And it has a ton of great features on it. So definitely, if you're in that price range or you're looking for a machine, check those machines out. They're going to give you way more than what any of us probably had when we started detecting. Andrew, how long have you been detecting? Speaking of that.
Well, my dad was a metal detector dealer back in the 70s, so I got to try a lot of different metal detectors growing up, and I think I really started getting interested in it when I was about 12.
Oh, wow.
But when I got into high school, that waned a little bit. I mean, I still went out occasionally, but not as much as I used to. And then went to college, and of course, it's kind of the same thing. And then you get married and have
Yeah,
kids, and
I get it. Trust me,
it
I
it
get it.
becomes a 1 day a week thing, where before it was like every afternoon. And but now that my kids are older and stuff, over the last probably 15 years, I've really started getting back into it.
Okay, so really, over really the last 15, you've used a lot of different machines, I'm sure,
Yeah.
just like all the rest of us. And I've been hunting for about the last 13 years. My background was I used to go out with my dad and used to go bottle hunting. Bottle hunting really sort of got me tied into relics. And of course, all of you know I'm a U.S. history teacher, so that really got me even more involved into it because I love the history aspect of it as well. And so that's sort of how I ended up where I ended up. And the rest is history, as they all say. But I love this hobby. I love talking about these machines. I love the thrill of the chase, of finding something. And I know Michael's the same way. So, Michael, tell us about your results today. I wanted to show those, and I am going to show a couple of finds before we get out of here. But tell us how the Manticore performed for you. Tell us what you found. Tell us where you went and that kind of stuff. And just give us a rundown about your hunt today with the Manticore.
I went to it's a 1700s plantation, but I've hunted a lot. The ground's kind of mineralized there, and it handled the mineralization of the ground well.
Right.
It ran quiet. I dug some musket balls, a few flat buttons, and just some odds and ends, pieces of brass. I went to another site, and I've really hunted this site a lot, and
Right. You
I
went with three
dug,
other people a couple of weeks ago, right?
yeah, with three people. We were all running our Deus IIs, and I dug a few buttons that day, but I went back today. I think I dug two or three flat buttons, and I ended up digging. It looks to me, it looks to me a Spanish half real. It's thin. It's got a little fire damage on it, and it's really warm. But I mean, I don't know how I missed that.
Right.
We've walked over that field time and time again.
Well,
You
you know
know,
what? You were telling me something too, and I think you told me this. That coin was tacoed, wasn't it? Wasn't it folded over, or was
it
it?
was, it
Okay, so
was,
that could have been a reason why that could have been missed. But it's great that the Manticore picked that up. And we're not saying that the Deus II wouldn't have hit that same target, but the Manticore hit it folded up like that, and it still hit it really well. What was the number that you got from that?
it was a 60-61.
60,
So it
61.
was a lower number, I guess, because it turned out, after I dug it, I went back over it, and there was a small piece of uh, um,
Of aluminum, right?
a shredded aluminum can in there. I don't know if that's maybe, it kind of threw me off with the dais and I didn't hear it or what. I mean, I don't know.
Well, and there's no telling. It could have been altering
Yeah,
that signal a lot.
right,
Andrew, have you
right.
dug a half real with your Manticore?
Not with the Manticore.
Okay.
In fact, I don't think I've dug 1 and 2 reals, but I don't think I've ever dug a half.
Okay.
I mean, I've got some coins that might have been a half
Right.
real, but they're so worn that it's like I couldn't be sure.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how this one is. I mean,
Yeah. It's
it's
worn pretty
warm.
good. He sent me, and I was going to put the picture up, but we were sort of scrambling around here at the last minute. But those half reals are, they're unique and they ring up really weird sometimes. Sort of like the way a trime would ring up in some
Right.
cases, because it's an odd thickness of a coin, number one, and then you're talking about a small target as well. And so, those.
Andrew, I have a question for you. I know you do a lot of gold prospecting. What's the biggest nugget that you found with a metal detector?
Not very big. 2.7 grams is the biggest one I've ever found.
Oh wow, that's
But
still good size.
there's people that have been doing it a long time that are, back in the heydays of the '90s, it was like 2 ounce nuggets were like very common, but anymore it's not very
Yeah.
common. Most of your gold you're digging anymore is 1 gram and smaller. So
Right.
Oh wow, oh wow. I can't imagine. I've never metal detected for gold nugget or nuggets, period. So I can't imagine what that's like. So give
well,
everybody
it's like
an insight into that.
Well, I mean, I had done it before, like back in the '90s. We used to have some property down in Arizona, and that's right by Gold Basin. And I would go out there with my father-in-law, and we would just metal detect and stuff, out there trying to find gold nuggets. And one time we did, but it wasn't
Right.
anything I was really into. Um, I got, I really started getting into gold nugget hunting probably about 6 years ago, but I've done everything else and found a lot of great stuff, and I thought, well, that's going to be the new adventure for me. And I mean, if you think about it, that's like one of the oldest things on earth you can find is a gold
Right,
nugget.
right, yeah, definitely.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
talking, it just blows the stuff away in Europe,
Yeah.
so that's what's kind of neat to me is that, you can go out there and find this little piece of gold that's been on the earth possibly a million years or more, so
Right.
it's
Yeah.
Well, digging, I can't imagine what that's like to find a gold nugget or gold. I haven't dug a gold coin. Michael, you haven't dug a gold coin either, right?
No, I haven't.
No. Andrew, you got a gold coin?
yeah, I've dug 19.
19. What?
Yeah.
Michael, you hear this guy over here at 19. You and I can't get one.
Well, out west, they're a lot more prevalent out west than they are in the
that's what I
east.
was
So
going to say.
Yeah, I know they
I
are.
was going to say that, you got a better chance to dig one out west than I think you do where
Yep.
we are at. So.
Yeah. Well, and there's probably some things that we're finding that Andrew would love to have too.
So, right. Yeah. Like the first large cent I ever dug was when I came to dig stock. So,
yeah. So there you go.
you guys, they're like common, it's like,
Well, I don't know. I did, and this was so funny. And if Calabash were on here, he could attest to this too. I didn't have a large cent for a long time. I had all these rare things, but no large cent. And Calabash used to just rag the crap out of me. And but then when I got on a large cent tear, I got on a large cent tear. But it took me. Calabash and I probably hunted together for about 4 years before I ever dug a large cent. And he used to give me so much crap about that. But yeah, those large cents aren't. But here's the thing, and I have this conversation all the time with people. Most of the sites that Michael and I hunt, and Andrew too, I'm sure, are usually sites that have already been hunted a good bit. And so the first thing that's going to go out of those sites is going to be what?
all the big
The
stuff.
high conductors.
Yeah, all the high conductor targets. There's not going to be any large cents left. So those large cents, they're sort of tough to find here in my case, because a lot of these sites, I'm basically going behind people that have hunted these sites for 20 and 30 years in some cases. And to go back in with this new technology really, gives me an advantage. But when these guys camp out on some of these sites, I know guys that have camped out on sites for 2 or 3 weeks and just hunted the entire time, and that's just, that's just hard to go behind and dig something spectacular. It just doesn't happen. And, I get this all the time too. I'll go on my, if I post a video or a short or whatever, and I dig just a regular colonial flat button, there's people on there that want to give me grief, but they don't realize how hard that is to do on the sites that I'm doing it on. And it just drives me bananas, but they don't understand the importance of that piece of history that I just dug. And that drives me bananas. But anyway, I don't mean to go off on that. But it's tough. So those large cents, and there aren't a lot of them left on some of these sites. And to still
Right.
find one, you've done really, really well to find one, haven't you, Michael?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, that's the first thing to go is the high conductive coins. You know, and
Right.
then
So Carson Chris is agreeing with you. Nugget hunting is tough. He says I'm 0 for 4 in the Nevada gold fields. So he's letting us know there too. Digging Darrell says we don't have any gold in the ground in southern Missouri unless someone dropped it. Yeah, I'm sure with that. Says I've tried to find some gold nuggets here where I live, but the odds are slim to minimal. Um, you got Andrew, you might be able to answer this one. What was the largest denomination of a gold coin? Do you know, Andrew?
Well, 20 is the common one, but they did make a 50, I believe, at one point, but I think they were all like mint productions. I don't think they made them into circulation. But 20 is the largest that you're going to come across U.S. denomination.
Right. 20 is probably the
Yeah,
one that you come across that would be the largest one.
yeah. Of course, they're like the large cents. They're gone.
Yeah, they were some of the first ones to go. There's no question about it.
Exactly.
What's the largest one that you've ever dug, Andrew? That's Don't Tread on Me wants to know.
$5 is the
$5
biggest I've ever
gold
dug,
piece.
and that was the first one I ever dug. Was a $5.
What year was that?
1901, I believe.
A 1901. Okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting you to say like 1850 or 1870.
All the rest of the gold coins I've dug have been in the 1850s, 1840s through the 1860s.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting you to say. So that's interesting. That's really interesting.
yeah.
So, what is your favorite thing that you've dug, Andrew? What's your favorite find ever?
Probably my CS tongue. That's probably my most favorite thing.
And see, I don't have one. Michael?
I don't have one either.
Nah. Where did you dig that at, Andrew? If you
That
don't
was
mind
up at
asking.
It was on Beauregard Farm at Digging in Virginia 50 up in
Okay,
Culpeper,
digging in Virginia. Okay, yeah.
I found that using my GPX.
Okay, yeah, and that was the other thing you and I were talking about offline was Andrew's real experience with pulse induction machines, using the Minelab GPX models, as well as you were talking about the Garrett Axiom pulse induction machine.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit, because most people on here are using VLF, but tell them what a pulse induction machine. I mean, what it does basically, and why you would use a pulse induction machine for some people that don't know. Michael and I know, but I know the audience would love to hear that too.
Well, pulse induction it sends a pulse into the ground. And I don't want to go into the whole explanation, but depending on how the signal decays, depends on the response that you get. And you've got different timings, they call them timings, you can run on the machines to penetrate the ground better in different situations or find bigger or smaller items. The place that they're good is in areas where there's very high mineralization. And I'll just give you an example, like Culpeper, Virginia.
Right.
I mean, honestly, you can bury a nickel up there in some places at 5 inches. You won't even hear it with a VLF machine.
No.
You can throw that thing 18 inches into the ground with a GPX and you'll get a signal. But they have no discrimination.
No.
The discrimination's your ears. You go by shape, sound, and size. Basically, you learn, what a good signal sounds like. The GPX models have iron discrimination, but it's only good down to about 6 inches, and it'll basically blank over a target that's iron if it's within reach. So anything over 6 inches, which is basically anything that's left that's any good, is deeper than 6 inches. You're kind of on your own, and depending on whether or not it's a high conductive target or a low conductive target versus a big item or large item, the tone will either be high, which would be a small item, or a low conductive item, or it'll be low, which would be high conductive target or a large item, which is kind of backwards from from a VLF. So
Right. So the pulse induction machines, again, guys, are mainly usually for hot, very mineralized soil, like up in
yeah,
Culpeper, Virginia, like out where Andrew lives. He has to deal with that. And
gold nugget hunting,
yeah,
that's
gold
mainly
nugget
what they're
hunting.
used.
You're going to see people using those machines for that. And Andrew's exactly right. You don't get a lot of discrimination with them. You got to listen for those sounds. Just to let you know that, hey, there's a target down there. Andrew, have you ever dug down 16, 17, 18 inches and it turned out to be a piece of trash using those pulse induction machines?
I dug a trap, probably a muskrat trap, that was about 20 inches deep one time,
Oh, wow.
and
Yeah.
it was a tough dig to get down to it.
Yeah. You're like going one.
I thought it was going to be a breastplate or something like that, but
Yeah, I know. And that's definitely a heartbreaker, especially when you go through all that digging.
yeah,
But Andrew, again, is very skilled and experienced with that PI machine. And so that's why I wanted him to talk a little bit about it. Um,
8 of
Andrew,
my gold coins were found with a pulse induction machine.
oh,
Yeah,
really? So you
some of the
found those
sites
gold
out here.
coins? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
because people couldn't get deep enough in these areas, so I started using a pulse induction machine in these pounded areas and picked up these targets that people couldn't hear.
That is so
Right.
cool. That is
Yeah.
so cool. Michael, have you ever used a pulse induction machine?
I haven't. I
Yeah,
haven't used one.
I've never used one either. I mean, I know what they do and I know what they're for and that kind of stuff, but I've never used one. So I'm sort of glad Andrew was on here tonight to sort of explain some of that to our audience. Of course, most people on here are using the VLF machines, but
Yeah,
they're when you get into some of these situations, the only thing that's going to work is what Andrew said is going to be that pulse induction. Andrew, you said you've been using the Garrett Axiom. You want to tell us about your experience with the Garrett Axiom real quick before we start
yeah,
getting off of here?
yeah. I've got to get off here in about
Yeah.
5 minutes. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, let me first say there's a saying out there. It's use a VLF when you can and a pulse induction when you have to. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what you go by. But
Right.
the Axiom is it's been out for about a year and a half, and it's primarily targeting the gold market. But I've had mine. I don't want to say maybe a couple weeks now is all,
Right.
and I've already had it out. Beach hunting, relic hunting, and gold nugget hunting.
Right.
Um, it's it's about a $4,000 machine, brand new, and then it comes with 2 coils, and then you've got other coil options you can buy. But I'm so far I'm real happy with it. I've dug. I went out and dug 18 bullets with it out at my one relic site on Saturday in a matter of a couple hours. So
Okay.
that was a good start with it. And beach hunting, I went out to the Great Salt Lake and I got some targets, but the ground, because there's a lot of freshwater springs along the shoreline and the water's down so low. We're in a situation now where the water flowing underground is freezing. So
Okay.
I actually had almost every single target that I detected 3 weeks ago I couldn't get to. I had to just leave them in the ground. So
Yeah. You could probably give up on it after a while.
yeah, at some
Oh
point
yeah.
I'm gonna have to go out there when it thaws out and try to remember where those were. But
Right. Well, I know you've got to go, but I just wanted to say thank you for being on here tonight, sharing your information, sharing your background, your knowledge of the Manticore, all the other machines. Guys, go check out Relics and Rings. He has an awesome channel. He does a great job. Good friend of ours too, and I was super excited to meet him when I went to Dig Stock, and then to see what he's doing with his channel. He does a very, very excellent job of showing and displaying the machines. Very, very knowledgeable, which you guys can tell.
Right.
And that's another reason why I wanted him on here tonight, because I knew that he brings a different perspective than what Michael and I bring normally. But we're always glad to learn new things and hear things from people in different parts of the country. and Andrew being out west is definitely a different perspective, isn't it, Michael?
Yeah, I watch his channel. I learn a lot from it, on the different machines. He
Right.
he runs some
Thanks.
good tests on them, and
Yeah, he does a great job, and he's real good at explaining things. He loves showing comparison videos. He loves showing the machines, breaking the machines down. He's been running the Manticore about as long as anybody. So you guys that do have a Manticore machine, if you're looking for some additional information about it, go check out Relics and Rings channel, Andrew's channel, and I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. Super knowledgeable guy. And we're so lucky for him to come on here tonight and share that information with us. So, Andrew, I know you got to run. Thank you so much for being here. And
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was
yeah,
great.
buddy, we enjoyed it. We just
we
and look,
enjoyed it.
if you ever need anything, you know where I'm at too, and I'm always glad to help you out as well. So, again, we appreciate you. I know Joel appreciates you too as well. And we look forward to seeing some of your future upcoming videos and what you got going on too. So maybe you can come back on later on a few months
Anytime.
and share some more information, man. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. Take care. You have a great and wonderful weekend. Go out there and find something great. Share it with us too. We'd love to show it on the channel as well.
Okay.
All right, Andrew. We'll see you. Have a
right.
good night. Take care.
All right,
Good
thanks.
night.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. So we appreciate Relics and Rings being on here, and he is signing out of here with us. And yeah, it's always good to hear another perspective. And you guys, y'all get to hear Michael and I, or Calabash and I. Y'all get to hear us all the time, but you hear somebody else coming in here and sharing.
You want to take that? What's his name? Cody Coyote said, "What's the best place to buy the Nokta Acupoint?" You want to take that one, Brian?
Oh, I can take that one. My buddy, Fly Rock 2, Mr. Joel. Cody, his information is scrolling across the bottom. Use his phone number. He says that website doesn't work anymore, but use his phone number there. It's scrolling across the bottom.
Or send him a text message.
Or send him a text message, or you can use that email, because I do believe that email is correct. So give Joel a shout. He can get you hooked up with an AcuPoint. Those pinpointers are awesome. We talked about that in the show. If you missed that part of the show, go back and watch. But the AcuPoint is a super pinpointer. Nokta has done a great job. They've given you some awesome features on that pinpointer. Michael's using it. I've been using it. I'm actually in the process of making a video on the Nokta AcuPoint. So again, you can go and get one of those. Joel can get you hooked up. He'll get it to you fast, Cody. And Joel is a great guy to deal with, a great communicator, and he'll get you hooked up with a AcuPoint pinpointer. So there we go. And he's Joel just said thanks, Andrew. And so we are good. So Michael, as we sort of wind down, and we're going to head out of here in probably the next 10 minutes. But for this last 10 minutes of the show, what do you think, Michael? When you go back out, what do you think you're going to try next with your Manticore?
I run, let's see, all terrain, low conductor, and all terrain general. And both of those ran really good on the site. Like I said, one of them had more mineralized soil than the other one, and but it still was a quiet hunt, and I mean it was enjoyable hunt. I started out using 5 tones, and I ended up running all tones, and I really enjoyed running that. Actually, it was like Andrew said earlier, you can hear a lot in the signal and tell a lot about the target.
Right. And I'm going to try what Andrew said too, because I've been running it a little bit differently than what Andrew said. And like I said, guys, Andrew has been running the Manticore since it first came out. He had it back in January of last year. I think he had it because he and I were already talking at that point. And I got to see him using it at Dig Stock. And so, yeah, he's been running it for a while. But I'm going to take his word for it because he's run it on the East Coast. He's running out West, and he's done really, really well with it too. So, yeah, I'm going to definitely try what he was saying too. Matthew McCann says that he's looking forward to an AcuPoint. He said, stupid spell correction. No, I get that. I do that all the time. His number is, let's see if I can put it up on let me see if I can put it up on, let's see if we can do this. Let's take it off a ticker. Hang on one second. Let's see if we can do this. He says he can't see. Says he can't see Joel's number on the screen.
Can you flash that banner you put up at the beginning up?
Well, I'm gonna put it up here like this. Let's try this and see if this works better. There it is right now. Okay.
Okay.
So, Cody, there it is for Joel. So if you're looking for that AcuPoint, and anybody on here that's looking for it, there's Joel's contact information. He is buy, sell, and trade USA 775-388-8277. Or you can email him at leebelt1@gmail.com. Disregard the website, as he said that is no longer up, but you can get in touch with him with all the other stuff. He, again, great service, easy to work with, and Joel does a fantastic job. So, again, give Joel a shout. He can get you hooked up with that AcuPoint pinpointer. And like I mentioned too, guys, we're going to be showing the Nokta double score. I've shown the score a little bit, but we're going to have some videos coming up with those machines. I'm looking forward to maybe taking those out on the beach in the coming weeks. Michael's going to possibly come down, so maybe we can use both of those machines and sort of show what they're doing out on the beach as well. So we're looking forward to showing that. I'm going out hunting hopefully tomorrow. We're going to be going back to a very, very nice historic site, plantation that I've hunted a few times already. And we're going to see if we can find some more relics there. So I should have a regular video coming up with that. And just to mention a couple of other things too that we got going on. The membership channel, don't forget about it. True Relic Hunter Adventure. Sign up for that. That gets you ready for the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. When we hit 10,000, we're going to be giving away some pinpointers. We're going to be giving away some beach scoops. We've got some shirts. We've got all kinds of other things that we're going to be giving away, hats, all kinds of stuff that we're going to be giving away when we hit that 10,000 mark. So again, you guys can help me with that. Share the channel. Sign up for the membership. You're going to get first pick on those pinpointers and so on before we offer them to our regular live stream. It's $9.99 a month, but we're going to be doing that for our True Relic Hunter members. So if you're not signed up for that, get signed up for that so you can get enrolled for that. XP's got some other stuff that they're going to be sending me to as giveaways. So there may be some surprises in there too. So again, get signed up for that True Relic Hunter membership. All you got to do is hit the join button down at the bottom of the channel, and you can sign up for it. It's $9.99 a month. And even if you cancel it later, at least you're in it. The other thing, too, that we got coming up is we're going to be having a special membership-only LiDAR tutorial from Surfside Dan, who's going to be on here with us in February. Towards the end of February, we're going to be running that members-only live stream. So you want to get signed up for that, too, with LiDAR and learning how to use LiDAR, where to access those LiDAR maps, and so on. And Dan is going to be on here with us for that. We're also going to have some more guests coming in. We got a few people that we're talking to right now about coming on and sharing some information. So that's going to be happening. So you definitely want to get in on the channel. And we've got a lot of great things coming, don't we, Michael?
Yeah, we sure do. And a lot of great guests. Calabash should stop in from time to time.
Yeah. Yeah, Calabash is got some things going on, but he's promised me he's gonna, instead of making some videos, he's gonna pop in on our lives. I was hoping he'd come in tonight, but he does have some things going on. But he said that he is going to be coming in on our live streams while he's sort of going through some house renovations and some other things that he's working on. So he's going to be dropping by, sharing some of his great information. It's always a fun time with Calabash. So he's going to be in here with us. So I look forward to having him. We've got some other great guests that are going to be coming in. Of course, Surfside Dan for the members only live stream is going to be coming in. Surfside Dan, Wealth of Knowledge too as well. And so again, there you go. Joel says that he's working night shifts. Joel actually works in a gold mine, by the way, guys. But if you leave him a text or email, he'll get back to you as soon as possible. Damien says negative 1.3 foot low tide coming up in South Carolina a week from tomorrow. Oh, wow. I did not know that, Damien. Well, I definitely need to get out with that double score and score out on the beach because I know a lot of people want to see both of those machines running on the beach.
That'd be a good time to get out with it.
Oh, yeah. So that's good. Let's see.
Carson Chris said, "Where is the true relic sign up?"
Okay, Carson Chris, if you go to my page, you will see a join button down underneath the banner, and all you got to do is click on that join button, and it'll take you to the True Relic Hunter membership sign
and
up.
That's on the website on the computer. If you're on your phone, I don't think it shows up there. It's on the website, right?
It should show up on any video. There should be a join thing, and it just says join in a little bubble down underneath the title of the video and so on. But if you click on that, Carson Chris, you should be able to sign up. And again, we're going to be doing LiDAR for our special members only live stream coming up in February. So that's going to be great, and that's a wealth of information that a lot of people would love to have. And Surfside Dan has been working on that. He and I have sort of been collaborating with that. And he's going to be sort of leading that tutorial of how to get to it, what to look for, and so on. So we're looking forward to sharing that LiDAR live stream, which will be coming up at the end of February. It will be somewhere between February, and I'll post it for the members, but it'll be somewhere between February 19th to February 27th. It'll be in that range. So you guys can expect that for you guys that are looking for the live stream on LiDAR. Sign up for that membership. You're going to get some great information from me and Surfside Dan and Michael too. So we're going to all be on there for that. And we might even get Calabash. We might even drag him out maybe for that one. Yeah, Cody Coyote says, I can't wait to learn about map overlays. Very excited about that. Well, we're actually going to show you how you can actually, well, it's not really an overlay, but you'll be able, well, it is an overlay because you're going to be able to take the satellite and the LiDAR and you'll be able to move them around and be able to see where you actually are with this tutorial. So again, we're looking forward to sharing that as well. Let's see here. Yes, looking forward. Okay. Yes. We got a lot of stuff coming on. All right. One last thing before we get out of here, because, and I've got a few, I want to share, Digging Daryl went out today and he was talking about this earlier on. So we're going to share a couple of finds video or finds pictures that were sent in to me. So I'm going to share Digging Daryl's first. And this is what Digging Daryl found. And there you go. So Digging Daryl dug a couple of bullets here today, some pieces of lead, and I don't know what the middle piece is or the top piece is. Looks like a piece of iron, but I'm not sure if that's a spoon bowl. If Digging Daryl's on here, he might can comment. But yeah, he wanted me to share that. He was using the sweeper program, and he said it was on a site that he has been on quite a few times, but he's still pulling out relics and artifacts with the sweeper program, Michael. So that sweeper program is still doing the
Right.
job, and Digging Daryl is a cannonball frag is what he said it was.
Cannonball frag.
Yeah, there you go. So that's good. So Digging Daryl shared this with me right before the live stream. I apologize. Normally I put them into a presentation, but I'm basically doing it with the email. But again, we appreciate Digging Daryl sharing his finds. We had one more, and I'm gonna see if I can get to it real quick. Let me get off of this for a minute. And I'm going to put up, we had one more nice find that was submitted to us, Michael, and I want to share that one as well. Hang on one second. Let me go back to my inbox. This was from Mr. John Emery, who's on here too. But we're going to share his find, which he said that this is, and I'm going to read it off. He said this is the most popular category of Saharan Berber jewelry made by the Tuareg people of Niger, Africa. And he found this in a, I'm going to show it in just a second. He said he found this across adjacent to a parking lot near some oak trees. So, yeah, this is interesting. So I'm going to share this up there. So did everybody hear what I just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from Niger, Africa. Okay, so we're gonna share this find, and this was shared by Mr. John Emery. So we're gonna add his find, and there it is. And he said this comes from Niger, Africa, and I'm assuming he found it here in the United States.
It's a long way from home.
Yeah, it's a long way from home. So I wanted to share his find as well. And I'm going to share Michael's finds probably next week. But Michael, we're going to just go ahead and tell Michael found a Spanish half real, which we said earlier. It was tacoed. And he found a couple of really nice buttons, and he found a watch winder too. So congratulations, Michael. First time out with the Manticore, and it was a good one, wasn't it, buddy?
Yeah, it was. I had a good day today with it.
He did. He had a great and fantastic day with the Minelab Manticore. And we're looking at showing a lot of other machines, guys. We love the Deus II. You guys know that. We're hardcore Deus II users. But there's so many good machines. And the goal of my channel is to try to show and bring information about all machines too as well. And we're going to keep showing some of these other machines for you guys that are interested. And if there is something that you're interested in seeing on the channel, feel free to drop me a comment. Leave it in the comments, or leave it on, on our comments over here on the live stream. If there's something that you guys would like to see, I'm more than happy to go out and show it. I've got access to all these machines. We've got the Manticore, we've got the Equinox 900, we've got the Deus II, we've got the WS6, we've got the Legend, we've got the Nokta score, we've got the double score, we have the Vanquish, we have the Xterra. So we've got all of these machines that we'll be glad to show or make a video to help you guys out, give you some information about those machines. And go ahead, Michael.
I was going to say, if there's something they want to see, just, they got your email address, just shoot you an email and say, hey, could you make a video showing this on this certain machine? You got pretty much all the
we've got a good bit of machines. You guys can see some of them lined up back there. My wife says you gotta have to make room for some more because it's about to get crowded in here. So, but it's good.
You're gonna have to make some wall hangers for one.
I know. And I've got some hangers on my doors that I actually hang some of them on. But we're more than happy to show anything that you guys want to see. You guys that are subscribers and come here every night for this live stream. This channel is dedicated to you guys and what you want. You guys run this show, believe it or not. And we're trying to give you guys the best possible information that we can get. out there to you guys. Tim, man, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, if you haven't hit that like button, please do. We work hard to bring you guys content, information. It does cost money for me to do this live stream, by the way, too. I do pay for a subscription service. So any money that's donated to this channel goes straight back into the service that I pay for, as well as cameras, everything else that I use. All of that money that anybody has donated has basically gone to this live stream or to my hunts or any of that, because I couldn't do it without the generosity of all of you guys being on here and supporting us. And that's really, really cool. Cody said that he's thinking about eventually upgrading and getting the Deus II W. You won't regret it, Cody.
Yes,
It's a great machine. There's a special deal. Speaking of that, and I should have said this earlier, if you're looking for an XP Deus II WS6 Master, $699 right now. You can get that machine, which is a heck of a deal. That's $100 less than suggested retail. You can either go through XP's Amazon site and buy it, but you can also get it from Joel. Joel can hook you up with the XP Deus II and the WS6 Master. So yes, you can definitely get that machine, Cody, at $699. That's a good price, and I don't think that price is going to last long. I think eventually they're going to be going back up to $799. So if you are thinking about it, now might be the time to go ahead and do that. Carson Chris says he wants to find a real. Carson Chris, I want you to find a real too. Michael was super excited about his half real today. Those are great coins, though. Super, super nice coins. And we are going to be always excited when we dig a real, won't we, Michael?
Yeah, it's you don't dig them every day. It's been a long time since I dug one, actually. It's been a while.
Right. And Metal Detector with CZ Kids says he's on here. He says evening all. Well, we're about getting ready to sign off. So, but we are going to do one thing before we leave, Michael. We are going to do a giveaway from XP tonight. We're going to give away a Go Terrain premium membership tonight. So for you guys that have hung around with us, there are 32 people still on here. The Go Terrain app, if you're not familiar with it, just to explain what it is. What it does is basically you can download the app to your phone. It will track you. It will let you mark where you found something. It will let you take pictures, video, audio recordings of where you found that. If you have a Deus II, it will actually read up the numbers that your coil's showing, and it will record that automatically, and it saves it to a cloud server. So the next time you go back, you can actually access all of that information again. It's a wonderful app to have, and XP has been generous enough to send us a year's membership, premium membership, which is $10, but they're sending that to us to give away on our channel, and we appreciate XP for doing that, and we want to make sure that we give that away to one lucky person tonight. So we're going to be giving away a membership. If you have an Android phone, I hate to tell you, but if you have an Android phone, you only get 3 months. But if you have an Apple, you get 1 year premium membership. And with that premium membership, if you're around any of your friends, you can actually, that have XP Deus II machines, you can actually keep track of them and see the numbers that are coming up on their machines as well. So if your buddy gets over a good spot, a hot spot, you'll know if you have that premium membership. So it gives you access to the group part of it as well.
Cody asked, can you use it with any machine? And you can use the GPS feature and still document your finds. Right. But as far as it connecting to the all machines, no, just the XP Deus II. But you can still use the GPS feature and document your finds with it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it does. And it works. It works with any machine. The only thing is that with the Deus II, it automatically connects to it. So it will actually show you the target ID numbers from your coil, it basically reads to your phone, and you can see where all those signals were throughout your entire hunt. It's actually really, really cool. But we're going to give away a premium membership tonight. And Digging Daryl says that he's got a case for the Deus II. Thank you, Digging Daryl. Well, I won't do it tonight, but I'll maybe do it later on another live stream as we're getting close to an hour and a half, and I know people are probably ready to head out. But we are going to be doing the Go Terrain membership, and we're going to get going with the drawing for that. So give me 1 second, Michael, and we're gonna do this StreamYard giveaway. And Michael, did you use your Go Terrain app recently? Didn't you use yours recently?
About a week ago, I did. And,
yeah. And how did you like it?
I like it. I like the GPS. Kind of shows you where you've walked, and it's neat how it shows as you go. It'll you can mark your targets. It'll show you the VDI number.
Right.
You can mark your boundaries of the property boundaries, so you don't. It actually gives you a little alarm if you get past the land boundary. So that's a great feature there as well.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's another thing too that I should have mentioned. Yeah, it will actually show you property boundaries too. So if you get off of where you're hunting and you cross over onto someone else's land, it's going to be able to tell you that, which is just awesome. I mean, that's a really, really neat feature as well. So we're going to share this, Michael, real quick. Let me stop this screen and let me share this screen. So let's go to our giveaway, and there we go. So all you need to do is type in hashtag app, and we are going to be giving away the premium membership of the Go Terrain app from XP. And again, we'd like to thank XP for being generous enough to offer us that membership up so that everyone can have access to it. And it is a great tool. It's a great thing to have in your arsenal on your hunts. So definitely type in hashtag app, and we're going to give away a Go Terrain premium membership. Remember, if you win tonight, make sure that you shoot me an email with what type of phone you have, number one, because some people forget about that part and then they go, well, I don't have my membership, but you got to tell me what kind of phone it is so I can make sure I give you the right code for that type of phone. Right. So definitely tell me what type of phone, and let me know who you were, and that kind of stuff. And we'll send you the code. And all you got to do is put that code in, but you got to download the app to your phone first. And then you put that code in, and then you will have access to the premium membership. So definitely, sign up for it. Yeah, I appreciate that, John. I appreciate it. John, have you plugged your code in yet? I just want to make sure all the codes are working and doing properly. Tim Man said he wants one of those Deus hats. That might be coming later, Tim Man. So not tonight, but it is coming for some other shows as well. Thank you, Rita. We appreciate that. Yes, it was a great show tonight. I really enjoyed you guys being here with us. Again, we are taking for you guys too. Don't forget, you can always give a super chat or a super thanks to the channel. Helps with shipping too for us mailing out some of these prizes and giveaways. Of course, tonight we can do this one via email, but there are some other things too, and that costs money too to mail these things out. So again, you can give a super chat or super thanks. That helps with shipping and keeps the things flowing too as well. So again, appreciate anyone that does a super chat or super thanks. Because that does go to the shipping cost of mailing out some of these things as well. Blasted Cat says, I already have it. It's a great tool. Good giveaway by XP and Southern Relic Adventures. Thank you, Blasted Cat. You're a wonderful supporter of the channel. Matthew McCann says, I paid for mine, but trying to win one for his wife. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Look, he's not selfish, Michael. You hear that?
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows. He knows. Happy wife, happy life, right?
That's a Valentine's Day gift right there.
Valentine's Day gift. All right, we got 15. Anybody else? We're going to do our drawing real quick before we get out of here. We'll give them one more minute, Michael. Make sure we got everybody in. There's always somebody that comes in at the last minute. Yeah, Matthew says right. That's exactly right. So, guys, I really appreciate all of you hanging out with us tonight. Michael and I are always thrilled, and we always look forward to our Friday nights and our weekends to have this show. It's a fun time, and you guys all make it worthwhile because everyone on here is so generous and knowledgeable, and it's just a great time. It's just fun talking metal detecting, and that's what it should be about. So Edward G says, laugh out loud. My wife don't care nothing about metal detecting. She hates that people. That's my wife too, Edward G. She does. She feels the same way.
BK said 80% of my detectives done on the beat, so I don't believe the app would benefit me. But it shows you where you've walked.
Oh, yeah.
So you can actually make sure you don't miss, you grid out the area. And
but he can also see an area where that he's already hunted before.
Right.
And he knows, hey, I found a bunch of stuff right here in front of this hotel. I need to go back to that hotel, and it saves it in the cloud. That's where I think a lot of people are confused. Some people are saying, well, why don't you just give that? Why don't XP just give that away for free? It costs money to have those cloud servers to save all of this information and all of this data. So that's why they charge for it, because it costs money for those servers to be storing all of that information. So if you're putting in a picture or a video, or you're putting in numbers or written notes, all of those things are saved every single time. So if you want to pull that information up later.
Right. So if you're hunting in front of a hotel at the beach, you can actually go back and see what month of the year most of your finds came from, and you can say, well, I better hunt that, focus on that month more, because it's, it's interesting. You can go back and look at the information like that.
Yeah. Carson, Chris, thank you so much. And Cody, thank you so much. Your donations are always greatly appreciated. Again, that goes back to helping out with shipping costs. It does cost a subscription service that I run with StreamYard to do this too. So again, all those super chats, super things, it basically helps pay for a lot of this. I like Damien's comment. I'm sure it's a lot better than using sticks and fire ant hills as landmarks. Yeah. That's so true. So true, Damien. Really true. All right. It doesn't look like anybody else. We got 15 people. Let's do our drawing, Michael, and let's get this over with. Remember, if you do win, don't forget to email me and tell me what type of phone you have, sransc@gmail.com. And we'll get you taken care of. And let's do that drawing now, Michael. All right. Good luck, everybody. And here we go. Let's see who's going to win tonight, Michael. Matthew McCann with the win.
It's a gift.
Yeah, so Matthew definitely came through. Congratulations, Matthew. Again, shoot me an email, sransc@gmail.com, and we'll get you that code out, and you can put it in. Make sure you tell me what type of phone you have, whether it's Android or Apple. Remember, though, if it is Android, it's only 3 months, but if it's Apple, you get it for a full year, and you can use it if you have a Legend, if you have a Deus II, Manticore, whatever it may be, whatever machine, it will definitely track you. And all you need to do is download the app and punch in the code, and you are good to go. All right. Michael, it's been a good one, hasn't it, buddy?
Yeah, yes. A lot of good information with Relics and Rings.
Oh, yeah. Relics and Rings did a wonderful job. We appreciated him being here with us tonight. Michael, I always appreciate you being here with us tonight. You're a wonderful, wonderful person to be here and take up your time to join in with me and help me out and share your knowledge and your information with everyone on here. And we just have the best audience out there. And you guys are amazing for being here every Friday night or every Saturday night or Sunday, whenever we choose. We've been trying to keep it to Fridays. My dad is in the hospital right now, so there's a possibility we might not be here next Friday, but if we can do it, we'll be here on Friday night, 7:30. If not, I will let you guys know when we're going to do it that weekend. But we're coming to you every weekend for sure. And so always pay attention, look for those notifications, sign up to get notified too. All you got to do is hit the little bell that way, Michael. Hit the little bell in that right-hand corner, and that way you'll always get notified when we go live, when we have a live stream, or when we have a video that comes out. You can always check those out too. So definitely check, hit that bell notification. Hit that like button too before you leave. Share the video. Remember, we're headed for 10,000. We're not that far away. You guys can help me get there. So definitely do that. And we've got some great giveaways coming when we reach the 10,000 mark. So share, get more people signed up. And we're going to have some great giveaways for everybody that's signed up and that's a subscriber. If you join on our live stream, we're going to have a big giveaway night when we get to 10,000, and we're not that far. So definitely try to help us out there. And we're going to just keep rolling. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Michael, thank you. And we appreciate all of you. And I look forward to coming to you with a video coming up this weekend sometime when I get done. And we'll get that video up. Hopefully, it's going to be a good weekend. Michael, congratulations on your finds from today. I think Michael's getting out this week too. And I look forward to seeing what Michael finds with the Manticore. Blasted Cat, you're always awesome, buddy. Thank you for the donation tonight as well. So again, guys, take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful and restful weekend. Enjoy your time. Get out and metal detect. Find some great things. Share those things with us. We'd love to show it on our finds as well. And as always, Michael, we'll catch you guys on our next adventure. Thank you so much for being here. Good night, everyone. Have a great, wonderful weekend. Take care. And
good night,
Michael,
everybody.
We are going to be out of here. We'll see you guys. Have a great night.